Hey everybody, welcome back to the JK Man podcast. I know I've talked a little bit about him here and there and a couple of stories in the past on a couple of other episodes, but today we're going to be talking about video games. Well, as well as the time this video is coming out, my youngest, Ashley, she'll be 3 years old today, so everybody wish her a happy birthday. And as far as games go, I've always enjoyed them to pass the time, so that way you feel like you're working towards a goal, especially if they bring out events like most of the Call of Duty games do, and some of like a Rocket League or whatever else have you, and just like something to work towards instead of just trying to pick a new show every day and then eventually get to the point like most of us already do on streaming sites where you have a hard time finding something you want to watch because you feel like it's either stuff you've already seen, you have no interest in, or you've seen it too many times. So you're sitting there like, I got all these streaming sites and nothing to watch. So that's where video games come in. I know it's not everybody's favorite thing to do, but for me, it's a nice way to unwind, especially if you had maybe a little bit of a bad day. You know, you're taking your anger out on something, whether it be a racing game, boxing game, shooting game, whatever. And for me, it was funny because when I was younger, my parents would always complain about, oh, you spend too much time playing games. You're a kid, it's the summer. Go outside and play. Come back when you see the street lights on. And at one point, I was doing that for quite a while. They were happy at first because, I'm not using the electricity. I'm getting some fresh air, exercise. But then there was a time where I was outside almost all day. And I had it one time where my dad come up to me. He goes, "Where have you been?" I go, "Out here. Why?" "So, why haven't you gone into the house to play games?" I go, "You're always telling me to come outside." "Well, I figured you would have gotten sick of it by now. Why don't you go inside and play some video games?" I don't want to play games now. I'm having fun outside. Isn't that what you wanted? He goes, just go play some fucking video games. It's like, oh, now you want me to go use your electricity for however many hours I can get in on there before it's time to go to bed. The first couple of games I think I ended up playing when that I can remember. First one ever I think was Zelda, and back then it's not as elaborate as it is now with the graphics and everything because things progress. But I thought it was kind of cool, you know, breaking the pots, trying to get the gems, then finding a sword, then eventually finding a better sword, trying to fight the creatures along the way. It was just a little weird that you kind of start off basically by yourself in a treehouse in the middle of fucking nowhere. And then as years go by, they make him better detailed, taller, has more of a manly voice. And all of a sudden now it's kind of like some games where even if it's supposed to be like the Master Sword, the one he's supposed to achieve, you can break it. Like your weapons have a shelf life, kind of like in Minecraft. And yet, in the other games, when you have the sword, you have the sword. They don't break. They also, which I kind of actually like to make it a little bit more realistic, give them some kind of endurance level. So that way you can only run for so long. You can only climb for so long and ride a horse for so long before you got to settle down and let your stamina build back up, kind of like they did in, I think it was Breath of the Wild. But I think one of my favorite games that I still never beat it was the Twilight Princess. because it was kind of cool seeing something other than the usual creatures you got to fight, and then learning to be like this Twilight version of a wolf, be bugged the shit out of by some creature from then who's supposedly helping you, and then get to a point where you can transform between your normal self to the wolf repeatedly at will after learning how to use it, and then a new form of attack or finding shit in the ground while you're in the wolf form that you can't see when you're in, the daylight human form or elf or whatever the hell he is. But other than that, I started out on, most people do, but like the Super Mario games, not the very first one or back like in Donkey Kong, but I played like the original Mario Brothers on some of the older consoles. I always had fun trying to beat the worlds, but at that point my time was so short in my head that I'm like, I just want to beat this as fast as I can. I didn't care about trying to get everything, like how you can get, sometimes it's a coin, sometimes it's stars, but you collect them throughout the maps. That way, technically, you 100% cleared the board. You didn't just finish it without dying too many times. But then there's all the other shit that gets involved with it, like trying to get enough coins to get another 1-up, so that way you can keep playing if you continuously fucking die. Otherwise, you'll have to completely start the map over, and we all know that's a pain in the ass. Then there's like seeing what new powers can come up depending on the block or whatever, like the flame flower, the raccoon tail that makes you fly, or the leaf, I mean, and then the raccoon that makes you twirl, and all the other ones, the ice balls. Just getting to see all these different power-ups, and then the different layouts, and then how they've evolved over the time of them making the games. It's just really awesome. And then they made a few movies about the game. The first one, I mean, it might have been okay for the time it was made, but kind of sucked. It was like a live action. And then eventually they made the one that we just saw a few years back, and then the new one that came out about like Super Mario Galaxy, where they got like Chris Pratt playing Mario, and I think it's Charlie Davis, I think that's his name, from Sunny with a Chance. Not Sunny with a Chance, you fucktard. Always Sunny in Philadelphia as Luigi, and then we all know Jack Black as Bowser. And that actually turned out so much better than I thought. But I'm just curious to see if in the Galaxy movie, if they're going to have that little star that likes to talk like everything's going to be a death pit, like they kind of did in the first one. Oh, we're going to die. We're all slowly going to die. It's like so gloomy, but so funny. Then there's obvious things that you love about the games, like besides seeing the story play out if you play a game with campaigns, like one that I played that was actually a pretty good campaign for the time was a game themed after Thor when the first movie came out. Battling ice giants and other shit and trying to get back to the castle in Asgard and everything else. And I think they even have the thing where you go to Earth, try to get yourself to be worthy again of the hammer, fight that armored thingy with the laser thing that he was fighting. I can't remember the name, but you know what I'm talking about. And then eventually I think you also get to like upgrade your armor, so that way it looks sort of how you would start to the upgraded look towards the end of the movie. And then there's so many others out there, but for me, I've always just liked playing first-person shooter type of games, or if there's one that strikes my interest, maybe something where you actually have to try a little bit, or every once in a while I'll play something like Fallout. Like, I'm not huge on it, but I don't mind it here and there because it's something different. having to like scavenge for your shit, fix things, upgrade your basically everything from your outfit to your house to your weapons, you name it. Like my brother was showing me his base on, I think it was Fallout 76 the other day, and he's got it all decked out. It looks fucking awesome, and he's got it set up for like a Halloween theme, and he's still collecting more shit when the events come about, but that just looks so cool when he's got everything. He even has this machine to fuck with the weather, so it makes it all gloomy, and then there's like spooky shit playing in the background, so you've got the Halloween feel with all the different masks and like decorations and whatever else. So once in a while I'll dabble with that, or like one of those zombie survival games. Like I played one, I think it was called Dying Light, where it kind of gave you the Walking Dead feel, except for them having like an overpowered zombie that's almost like a fucking alien. He's super fast. I remember an old friend of mine, we played that game together online, and I normally, it's a game, don't think of it like it's real, but that scared the shit out of me so bad. He goes, yeah, I've been playing this game for a little bit, so I'll help you through it a little bit until you kind of get used to it. So we're fighting zombies, we're collecting shit so we can make more weapons or lock picks or whatever. And then it got to the dark time. He goes, oh, we're going to want to head back soon because when it gets dark, I don't remember the name of the zombie, but it's like a berserker. That thing comes out, and good fucking luck, especially as low of a level as you are, you're not going to stand a chance. So he's trying to run towards the thing, and it's getting dark really fucking fast. And then, just like you see on some of the gameplay videos, you hear or whatever noise it makes, and you stop to look around. He goes, don't stop running, fucking move. And then I start booking it, and just as I was about to cross the safe threshold in the doorway, that fucking thing caught up to me and swiped me, and it actually showed me like I got sliced like sushi. He goes, I fucking told you. But as soon as that slash, and then it just shows the fucking zombie in the screen, I sat there and I screamed, because, we're sitting there playing with the fucking headset so we can hear each other and all. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, run, bitch, run. And then he's like, you're not going to fucking make it. Try to hide somewhere. Well, it didn't work. And then I ended up dying anyway. So then we had to restart the fucking day all over again from the last checkpoint, which means I basically had shit to work with because most of my supplies were picked up before the next checkpoint, which would have been after we survived the night and don't get mauled by the fucking berserker. So we had to go through, I think that happened like 4 fucking times before I was like, you know what, let's just go back to Call of Duty. Because that was actually the first online experience that I got to try. Was I begged and begged to get Xbox Live back when they did 3 months, 6 months, 12 months instead of monthly, which I don't mind. It's just, it was simpler back then. You buy a $60 card and then you're good for a year. You just got to remember to buy a new one and type in the code. And sometimes you can get the card early and it'll save it on there, so that way it knows when the old one expires, it just auto plays the next one, kind of like an automatic payment. But I had to ask to get the game because, not old enough, and it's rated M for mature because of violence. Ooh. And I finally got it. I think it was for either a birthday or a Christmas present. And it was on the Xbox 360, because when I game, I like to play on the Xbox, but that's just me. And all of a sudden, I saw the previews of the game because my friend's talking about it, and he's like, yeah, you should definitely get it so we can play together, because there was so many times where I would go over to his house and spend the weekend over there, having a sleepover. And we would have to play split screen, which fucking sucks, but at least I got to play. And he's showing me like private matches and whatever. And then he mentioned about playing online, so we both ended up getting Xbox Live at the same time after I got my game because we waited. And then, first time I tried playing multiplayer, I was playing on core. I usually play hardcore now, but the fuckers made the guns so fucking hard for me anyway to shoot because either you didn't feel like they were shooting fast enough, and that was before you realized, oh yeah, I can fix up the gun, different attachments, make it perform better to my liking. But then after a while, I actually started getting not too bad. I wouldn't say I was a great player or anything like that, but I was actually getting pretty good most matches, not all. And my favorite gun to use at the time was a submachine gun called the PP90M1. It has like this salami magazine that's on the bottom. I would get extended mags, extra bullets, and then rapid fire. And then that was all I had on it basically, except for like, the stock, the grip, and whatever to even out the stats on the gun. And I was getting so good with it that friend of mine that I had, we would play, and he would love to do that back when I was able to figure it out. I don't know how to do it now for some reason, but you could join a friend's game, but you don't have to be in the same party like Black Ops 7 does now. You could join the game and you'd either end up on their team or you'd end up on the enemy team. He loved joining me on the enemy team so that way he could see how many times he could kill me before he pisses me off. So he'd end up either getting like a text or a voice message through the Xbox Messenger of me calling him a piece of shit and all that, just idle, funny game chat when you sometimes he did, sometimes he didn't. Basically wipe the floor with me. So then we end up playing on the same team, and then we start doing better because, it's all fun and games, and we're just doing it for enjoyment, so there's no reason to actually get mad. So then eventually that got my brother's interest in on it, and then he ended up getting the game in Xbox Live. I actually helped him out with an adapter because some of the 360s back then didn't have that built-in like Wi-Fi adapter. In order to get the internet, you had to hardwire the bitch, and he got that all set up. Then I think he ended up getting a better Xbox where it had one built in, which is nice, and that's before he switched back to PlayStation because he prefers PlayStation. But he was playing split screen with me, and he noticed some days I get a little pissy that he wanted to play because, you go from a 32-inch screen to like fucking half of that because split screen. And then eventually when he got it all set up for himself, then either on his own or playing with me and some of my friends from school, we would constantly see who can do better, whether it be playing matches against actual people or just playing against each other in a private match. And there was so many different fads back then. Like back then, the score that you wanted more than anything, yeah, you wanted a high number of kills, but it was all about the kill-death ratio. People were obsessed with that shit. Then after a while, they stopped caring as much about the kill-death ratio, and they were just focused on like quick scoping. Then everybody was quick scoping. Then it switched to trick shots with the sniper. Oh my god, I tried so many. Just like I had a friend, he was on a private match with me so we could like pretend and fight each other and shit like that, or just practice in general. And we were on this one map. I don't remember which Call of Duty it is, maybe you guys do, but the map was like a frozen tundra with a big downed, almost like cargo ship or some shit on its side on the left, and off to the right, and off to the left it was like open woods with a bridge, couple of cabins and shit with the frozen pond or two, and then there's like a frozen like mini village slash boat dock or some shit at the far end. But anyway, there's also a helicopter pad with the helicopter's blades still going. And back then, with all the glitches that were on the games, it might have been Modern Warfare 3 actually, but you got all those glitches like the one in Terminal where you can do it just right and hop on the door of the plane and then hop onto the plane itself and then do something and then you end up on the very back tail fin of that airplane. Or like before they got rid of it, Hard Hat, they had where you could actually somehow glitch into those sections of the broken or unfinished concrete where they keep the barrels with pipes and shit that's supposed to be off limits. You could glitch in there to where they almost can't hit you because back then, if you shot at metal, ping! Now you can sometimes shoot through metal, but then there was another one where you could get on top of something that you can't get on top of now. But he goes, oh, I know of a couple in this map. So he brings me to that map. He showed me a couple. He goes, oh, there's this one other one. It's fucking awesome. You see the helicopter? Yeah. Me being stupid and gullible. Because, he's been helping me so far. He goes, if you time it just right, and you hop on this crate, and then jump at the count of 3, you can make it without getting hit by the blades, and then land on top of the helicopter, and then camp down there, so people won't even see you because the blades moving. I go, that sounds awesome. He goes, yeah, I've already done it like a few times. So he goes, okay, now hop on the block. I do it. He goes, okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, jump, die. And then he starts laughing his fucking ass off. I thought he was going to piss himself. I guess I wasn't the first one to get that fucking joke pulled on them without realizing it. It was just to get me to kill myself. There was no fucking hack there. Asshole. And then I actually ended up getting somebody else I knew playing the same map, but during an actual match, I got him to do the same thing, and then he's yelling at me. He's like, you're lucky this isn't hardcore, because if it was and we had the friendly fire, I'd be shooting your ass for that. You fucking dick. I was on a streak, too, because that was another big thing, was a streak. Basically, how many kills you can get without dying. Everybody's goal was to get, I think it was 30, because I think it's 30 without dying. You're supposed to have gotten like a nuke or some shit. And also a really cool looking calling card. But then there's the negatives too, like when you get poor internet connection, you get, like back in the Modern Warfare 3 days, at least for me anyway, you would actually see like a crown or some shit above one of the names on the roster, which means they're like the lobby leader or some shit, so we're all basically feeding off of them. So if we got one bad egg, all of us are lagging. We're bitching about it. Some of them rage quit. Some are talking shit to the person who has the bad connection. That was back when you could actually vote to kick the fucker. And then we would kick the host in the middle of the fucking match. Then they'd buffer for a while, maybe give us a new host and resume the match. Maybe we'd have to start over completely, or they just put you in a completely different lobby. A lot of the times I would do that, and all of a sudden it would make me the host. And then living in a small town, the Wi-Fi is not always the greatest. So at time to time, I'd be bitched at, oh, get better internet. Why didn't you get the fucking cord and plug it into your Xbox? That way there's no lag connection. It's faster. It's like, leave me alone. Other people use the internet and I'm just trying to fucking play. I'll deal with the lag on my own. Pick somebody else to be the leader. I don't give a shit. And then after all those fads, now it's not so many like weird goals. It's excessive usage of certain like parts of your classes. Like back in the Modern Warfare 3 days, especially on fucking Dome. It's like that one video you see why is it when I throw a flash grenade, it's like I just got smacked in the face, but then when you guys flash me, it's like you're completely skull fucking me because I've been bombarded where you walk into the mine shaft or whatever it is, or the bottom part of the dome itself. You take one step in and you get flashed. You're like, all right, make it through, duck down. Maybe they won't see me. And then there's like the rest of the team all throw theirs at the same time because everybody's using flashbangs. And you can't see. All you see is blinding white, like you just turned on a spotlight directly in your face. Then by the time it subsides, you're already fucking dead. Then after that, everybody was going knife crazy because everybody wanted to do trick shots or like see if they can go around the map getting as many kills as they can with just a knife. And then once you get farther into the games, you start getting more events and stuff like they do in Black Ops and whatnot. I'm actually really excited that they're finally making the Modern Warfare 4, and I plan on trying to do the pre-order, get some of the extra skins and whatever. But what's cool is just like Black Ops 7 for my brother, when that came out, as far as past the beta stage where you actually have access to it, everybody, everywhere, it comes out on my birthday. So I think that's pretty awesome. But I can't wait to see what that one's going to be like, since it's been how long since the last time we had a regular new Modern Warfare, not like remastered part 1, remastered 2 and 3. It's like, I get it, but at the same time, can we just come out with the new one? Otherwise, it's the same shit over and over. I mean, it's sort of like that with franchises in general. Like, for me, there's certain games I don't like playing because it's the same shit every game, or I just get bored of the idea of it. I'm not a big Halo person. Like, I thought it was fun at first, but for me, I just can't get into the type of weapons and the type of creatures. It's not a bad game, it's just not for me. Just like other ones I've tried playing that they're all right in the beginning when you're first trying it out, but I'm not a huge fan. Was kind of like what's it, Turok or Ark. A lot of people like Ark, and some of the people that have actually played the game like Turok. I mean, it's all right, but for me personally, it's just not what I'm looking for in a game. I get bored, especially having to find your weapons all the time like you're a caveman, you're slowly evolving. Kind of reminds you a little bit of Age of Empires, which was another nice computer game. But that's a little different. You could start out as like cave people, the Stone Age or whatever you want to call it, and then you slowly progress and progress, build different structures, like kind of like a little medical tent, houses, farmland, shit like that. Grow your population. Eventually you get like soldiers or loggers and shit like that, farmers. And then eventually, after you do so good, because you gotta make sure the happiness level of your population is good, but also that they have enough food and money and whatever in order to feed everybody, but also so the town thrives. Then eventually you get on to the next stage. So it could be cavemen, then it goes to basically like Native Americans or something around that. Then maybe it goes to pilgrims. Then it goes to like, I probably skipped and whatever, I don't give a fuck. But there's one where you get to do like knights in shining armor. And then it just keeps going to like evolution of the actual ages in order after so much progression. And it's just kind of cool to see how big your town gets and how much you can explore and what you can build. And then all the different styles of outfits and buildings and whatnot from back then, because just seeing it in a game format where it's just evolution after evolution. So it's kind of like seeing what we learn in school about how things changed over the years. I don't know how far into like the future it goes because I hadn't had the games long enough because we ended up getting rid of the computer and whatnot to get to whatever the max is. So if any of you've played Age of Empires, any of them, doesn't really matter. Let me know in the comments if there's like what age or state it stops in, because I've never actually seen how far it goes. I think the last time I remember playing that game, I got as far as kind of like the colonial times, like Revolutionary War type shit. I don't know if it keeps going or not. But another shit part about playing the game, besides the connection sometimes, is the lobby you play. Unless you're in a party with somebody, most of us use game chat. Whether we can actually use a microphone or just type, or just so you have people talking other than you just hearing the game background and then the clicks of your joysticks or whatever, or the tapping of the keys if you play on computer, PC. And you get people that treat the game like it's life. I mean, I get it if you just really love the game, or if that's like, say you're a streamer and that's how you make your money. Okay, I get that. But there's also a point where it stops becoming fun or for content, and it gets to a point where you're like, you're seriously overreacting that much to a game? It's not like you're actually experiencing that. I mean, yeah, sure. I get pissed off when I'm not doing well, or if, say, I get people like today in my team, they're constantly fucking shooting me. Sometimes it's accident, sometimes it's deliberate. Like earlier today, I had this one ass wipe. The common courtesy thing, at least that I know of, and my brother and a few others, is say you get a care package and you throw it down, and an enemy kills you before you get a chance to take it. Unless you like respawn close by like instantly so you can go get it before it's too late, 9 times out of 10 there's more following them, like a pack. So odds are, unless a teammate takes it, an enemy's going to take it. So common courtesy, I took the care package from the guy because he got killed and there was 2 more following him. I shot them, took the care package before the enemies got a chance to, out of a respect of not letting them achieve the points for stealing it, let alone if they get kills with it. Well, I guess shortly after I accepted the package, he respawned. And he came around the corner and he fucking shot me for taking his care package. Now, if I deliberately stole it, then whatever. But that's not what happened. So I shot him back. Then he goes, if you're going to use or take my care package, then fucking use it. Come on, fucking use it. So I did. Granted, by the time it went off, everybody that it showed on the map, because it showed all 6 dots on one side, it was like a napalm strike. They were already either gone out of that area or the team killed them, so it didn't end up hitting anybody. And he kept this up throughout the entire rest of the match, but after the complaining about me taking the care package, he didn't say a fucking word. He shot me, I shot him. It's like, okay, you want to be petty? I'll do it too. So we did that the whole game. I thought by sure that it was going to be next game, new lobby, or at least have him on the enemy team. So that way I can kill him as many times as I want just to piss him off. Prior to that, in that same match where he shot me for taking the care package, some people don't have a mic. They got something to type on to pop a message in the corner. After that match happened, we had one where he was being civil, and there's this other teammate. I saw an enemy. I shot the enemy, and then he ran in front of my bullets. Gotta love when that happens. And he died too. Then he respawned. Not even 30 seconds later, another fucking teammate kills him. I go, Jesus Christ, again? And then not even 2 seconds after that one, I didn't see the name pop up in time because there was so many people being shot. But then he pops a message on there in big capital letters. Will my team stop fucking killing me? So I guess he got killed 3 times in less than a minute. Which I've had that. Teammates sometimes don't know which way is up from down, left to right, you name it. I'm not saying it don't happen. I've been in those types of matches before where you're not really paying attention, or you're kind of getting to the point where you're like, okay, I'm kind of getting sick of playing, so I'm not really going to try as much. Or if you're like back in the day, still trying to get your stats down, so you'll play like shit to get them back to where you want them. You know, kind of like sandbagging. But there was just so many times where you get them, or the ones that just want to cause fights with you. They're arguing over everything, or trying to be like a troll, or they're making funny and shit. Until people started being truthful on trying to SWAT people. Back when they started calling SWAT trucks on people because they were doing deep dives on players they had a problem with, and instead of just reporting them or whatever, they go as far as finding out about this person, where they live, and then causing trouble. I'm so glad that they fixed that for the most part, because there's still a lot of problems out there, whether it be an update in the game or hackers or cheaters. Like how many times I've had people doing the leg switch or the glitch, you know what I'm talking about, where the glitch hack, that's what it was, where you're shooting at them and all of a sudden you glitch to the left, or your gun, you're over here or something like that, and they're able to beep, and then shoot you before the bullet hits. Or the other one where they got it where you're shooting at them, you dead on, basically unload the whole mag. They're not even taking a hit marker, and then they go and you die, because they have that hack on there, so they don't take any damage some of the time. They can't do it all the time, because then it would be extremely obvious on who's cheating. Or the one where, I know they sort of have it as a score streak, but where people actually have that aimbot, where you can see people, and you can, I've seen it on older Call of Duty games before they fixed the bug. You take your gun, you don't even have to be around anyone or aim at any specific thing. Like say you're in Hard Hat in Modern Warfare 3. I'm aiming at a trash can by the ground. I unload my whole magazine, and it shows that I killed all 6 players on the enemy team. It gives me a 6 rapid kill. Back when they overpowered that really bad as well. And then you got the ones that just love to cause drama, a lot of talking shit, you know, back before they started putting on the chat ban if you talk shit, and if you keep it up, your chat privileges are going to be banned permanently, and blah, blah, blah. They say that all these things are part of what you can't say, and yet when you get to the fucking game, people are still saying it on a consistent basis, whether it be slurs or swear words or whatever, or just insults, you know, typical game chatter. I haven't seen anybody get chat banned once. I think I've heard of a person getting warned, but I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I just haven't seen it. As far as I'm concerned, people do watch what they say a little bit more, or just fucking quiet in general, but at least they're still allowing some of the freedom of speech thing to go. So that way you can actually trash talk a little bit instead of acting like it's a PBS special. Okay, boys and girls, how do we think we played in Team Deathmatch today? Like, crud. Good boy, Jimmy. Fuck no. I played like shit. and tomorrow I'm going to play like shit again. And then when you know for a fact that either somebody's parents aren't home, like one of my ex-friends, or like the little kids that they end up letting on there. I mean, if you want to let your kid play the game that young, that's fine. But I would suggest maybe monitoring them a little bit, because they are the ones that talk the most shit. The ones that think their parents aren't home or are asleep, like when my ex-friend used to do that. We would be playing at night with our headsets on, trying to be quiet so we don't wake up anybody in the house. Try to play as late as we can. And all of a sudden, he's sitting there swearing and screaming and acting like a fucking dumbass. And then we go, hey, what? Are your parents home? No. Figured as much. What makes you say that? You don't talk like this when they're home, because they'll come in and whoop your ass. No, the fuck they won't. He wasn't allowed to swear, let alone scream like that when he was still living with his parents. Because, some people have rules. Don't swear in my house, or at least if you do, be respectful about it. Like at my house, you can swear when you turn 18, but be respectful about it. Don't overdo it or like sailor mouth it, where every other word, fuck, 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 fuck. And then you got the squeakers, which are the younger kids. It's like, if they want to play the game, fine. If they want to learn how to play it better, cool. Meet new people, because that was one of the coolest things, whether you can understand them or not. Getting all the different people from around the world playing. I've heard Spanish, French, German, so many different versions of like the Asian ones, like Japanese, Chinese. I think there was somebody on there, they told us they were from Taiwan or some shit. Just getting to hear all the different people. But the squeakers, they're the ones that talk the most shit, make the most noise, and kind of like when you hopped up on sugar as a little kid. They won't shut up. They got a sugar high that it'll last until they either leave the match or get booted from the fucking lobby by us for him being so annoying, instead of, what most people do nowadays. Like before, when I just didn't want to deal with anybody, mute the whole fucking lobby. I don't care if I play with them ever again. I just didn't want to hear it. So that way there was no possible like screaming going on, somebody talking on the fucking phone the whole match, blaring music. It's different if it's actually enjoyable, but half the time the music I end up hearing through somebody's microphone, either the music itself sucks, or granted, everybody wants to enjoy it as far as like when they're hitting the right song they love to play to. Like, say you're one of those people that likes hard rock or some shit, so you listen to like AC/DC or somebody heavier just to get you in the mood. And this fucking guy is trying to sing it like we all usually do when we enjoy a song, but he is so tone deaf, or he forgets half the words. So he's sitting there trying to sing the song and say it's Hell's Bells or something like that. He goes, Hell's Bells. Like, why the fuck are you singing it? If you're going to at least play a song that we might like, just let it play. Or mute yourself. It's not that hard. Just one click of a button. But again, if you want to listen to it, that's your choice. I've done it before, but I keep it at a volume where I can hear it just fine, but my microphone doesn't pick it up, so people can enjoy playing the game without hearing your excessive shit. I've even had it where people have other people in the room with them, and they're either having a conversation with each other, which is fine, or they're having a full-blown argument during it. Like, there was one time it sounded like they were screaming at each other, and nobody swung, but we heard something break. So I'm guessing something got knocked over or somebody threw shit. And then the squeakers, like I said, they just never learn. Just constantly being loud, obnoxious, and stuff because they think that's how people act. Well, sometimes, but not all the time. And they think, oh, monkey see, monkey do, so we're gonna mimic it. And then you're just sitting there like, was I like this too? Probably. Do I like it still? No. Please shut the fuck up. So as soon as we would get a squeaker, we would either fuck with them for a little bit or we would mute them right away. But then you also get the people, like, say you met a couple of people, you enjoyed playing with them, they were really funny or had a great time because working together like an actual team. Unlike now, where basically everybody for themselves. So you start playing with them on a regular, and you kind of bust out of the little group you were before, whether it be a friend or a few friends. You might either incorporate them or just, I'm going to play with these guys for a little while. And then eventually I'll either incorporate them or go back and start playing the games with these guys again. So that way everybody, doesn't feel left out. And we had this one, he somehow knew I was going to be on, even though I had it set to like don't disturb when it's supposed to make you look like you're offline all the time. So that way I didn't have random people trying to fucking send me messages and shit. Just like back in the good old days when you got sex bot messages through fucking Xbox, that was something. They'd ask how old you are, and if you answered stupidly by saying your correct age that's above 18 or some shit, then they're going to try to get you to go to their website. But I was in a lobby talking with some of my friends that I was going to play Black Ops 1 or 2 with. I think it was Black Ops 2. And he joined. And they're like, why the fuck is he in here? I go, I don't know. Let me ask him. You guys can't hear him? No, we all blocked him because we find him fucking annoying. We hate playing with him. And I already told him that I wasn't going to be able to play any of the Black Ops 7 with him because I had plans to playing it with some other friends. And he said that was fine. But he joined anyway. And we didn't notice until after we started the match because we were playing online, not a private. And we noticed after a little while that his name kept popping up. So we would kick him out of the game. And all of a sudden he'd rejoin again. Then we would boot him from the game during the fucking loading screen. And then there was another point where they sent him messages telling him to quit joining. And he kept doing it anyway because he thought it was hilarious that not only did they get mad that he joined, that he was also repeatedly killing them because he was actually pretty decent at the game. I mean, at that point we all were, but he was a little bit better because him living out in the middle of nowhere in the country, that's pretty much all he had to do was video games or TV. Nothing else to do out there. Walk down the fucking field? No. So at one point, I deleted him as a friend because I tried to send him a message telling him I specifically said that I was playing with these guys today and they didn't want to play with you. Can you please stop joining the game? And then he got a little bit mad. So he kept doing it anyway and then starting to talk shit to them because they unmuted him just so they can yell at him. Next thing you know, I deleted him just so I could play the fucking match without him joining my shit. I had to block him too. And then he got mad at me and acted like we weren't friends anymore because of not wanting to play with him for one fucking day. And then he tried coaxing me into agreeing to do something on a game that I didn't want to fucking play. I think at the time it was Clash of Clans, because at the time I had no interest in the game. I play it from time to time now. But he said, oh, I'll only accept your apology and agree to be friends again if you agree to download the game and this. I'm like, you're seriously still on about that? He goes, if you're serious about wanting to stay friends, considering how many years we've been friends, then yes. I go, fine. What's the fucking name of the game? And then he was all happy smiles. It's like, you fucking dick. All that because of an online dispute between people I specifically told you don't want to play with you, and you just refusing to listen because you thought it was funny. But life goes on. You're always going to find assholes like that or ones that cause drama. Like, there was one time me and my brother were playing. We end up in a lobby where these two people, there's a guy and a girl, one lived in New York, one lived somewhere else. The one dude, he was drunk as shit. So he's talking shit, won't stop talking. He's saying nice, hurtful, and also seductive things, all to the girl that we were playing with too. Then she would play into it because she was, doing it for comedy reasons, because sometimes she streams or whatever. And he was getting aggressive with it. He tried sending friend requests, and we all denied him because he was kind of a piece of shit in the end. Because he, I guess, must have still been drinking, because he went from all that to being more aggressive, more explosive with his fucking outbursts, and most of them were really rude. But then we started playing with her for a while because she seemed pretty cool. Until drama set in. Like, we were friends, so sometimes we would talk a little bit outside of the game, and she's talking about some of the shit she's struggling with, which is fine. I'm willing to listen. But then it just became more of a crying fest. Like, I get it. Struggles are struggles. It's hard to work through them or even get past them if you can. I'm not saying that she wasn't actually struggling or anything. It's just every conversation turned from, hey, how's it going? Are you hopping on the game today? What game mode are we playing? Is your brother going to join us? To, oh, I don't like playing with your brother because I think he's rude. It's like, no. Kind of like me, except I have a little bit more of patience with it. After hearing people talk shit for so long, sometimes even though it's just online, you feel like you need to say something, whether it be proving a point or at least trying to get the person to shut up or whatever. And then every conversation turning into a cry fest because she would complain and complain about how her life is, even though there were things that she probably could have done to fix it. I know it's not necessarily that easy because not everything is, especially I think New York's supposed to be more expensive. And all of a sudden, that's all it was. Crying. It's like, I get it. You're going through something. But at the same time, I don't want to hang on the phone for like 3 fucking hours just to hear you cry for 2 of them. I'm willing to talk to you about what you're going through if you want to, discuss things, but I'm not a therapist. I can't really help you. And then eventually, kind of like I was saying, where you take rotations of what friends you're going to play with, so that way everybody feels included. She started doing that, but she would hardly ever join a game request anymore. So I just said, okay, well, fuck it. I deleted her. Next thing you know, she sends me a message because I still had a PlayStation at the time. She goes, well, I see that you deleted me off of everything, so have a good life. It's like, I didn't even have her as a friend on there anymore, so she must have still had my profile name and just sent me a private message. And then for at least a couple months or so, she'd write a message here and there like, hey, how's it been? Or how's it going? And shit like that. It's like, if you really wanted to talk again, you would have, wrote something like, hey, I miss playing games with you, or what you been up to? I'm bored. You want to play some Call of Duty or something, catch up, play games, have fun. Nothing. So eventually I blocked her because it's kind of a waste of a conversation if you get a message maybe once every couple of months and you forget what you were even talking about, let alone who it is. But then you get the good people too. Like there's this one crew I had. It was like three other people, and they were from all over the U.S. One was I think Texas or some shit. Me in Wisconsin. One in Illinois, and then I think there was another one that lived out in like California or some shit. And we would play, and it was a range of ages too, because I was like the youngest at like say 15, and then I think the oldest guy, the Texas dude, was like in his 40s or 50s, and we just had like what you see with the game chats online, where it's just so full of laughter, call outs, communication, whether the game turned out to be shit or you did awesome. And we just had such a great time, but eventually, as time moves on, they weren't always available, so eventually the group broke apart. Because back when they still did it, I don't know if they do anymore, they had it where not only do you have Xbox Live and all the other shit, you also have it where I think you'd go on a website or download an app and you can set up a clan through, I think it was Activision or some shit, and then you can level up your clan, kind of like the ones that you can pay for on the shop now for merchandise wise, and level up a clan and maybe become one of those famous ones that are out there on YouTube and whatnot. I did that for us, even though we kind of fucking forgot about it. And eventually I forgot to log in too, so I don't even think that exists anymore. But yeah, good times and bad times, just like as far as personal achievements, I think the most I've gotten without dying is maybe 12. But as far as in general, I feel like I've done awesome some games where I get over 30 kills with a low amount of deaths, or you get a bunch of rapid kills, like you feel like you're on fire. Nothing can stop you except for that untimely, oh fuck, I gotta reload. And then there's always the fucking missiles that hit you. It always targets you unless you have that perk on there to, not be read by the machines and shit, but it always targets you. So it ruins your score streak if you got one going. And I get a lot of fails too, where there was a few matches I had played good like the first two or three, and then I start trying to play again because, I'm on a roll. Let's see how we go. I get 4, maybe 7 kills and like 22 to fucking 36 deaths. And then that puts you in a sour mode and you're like, next one's going to be better. So you start doing it and you get like maybe 6 kills, 20 deaths, and you're like, what the fuck? So you think, okay, if I put the controller down for a little bit, come back to it, maybe I'll perform better. So you give it that last chance before you say fuck it, and then either pick a different game or go watch a show. And you think you're doing good because you're actually killing people. You're not dying as much. You're going around. You finish the match. And you're like, yeah, what did I get? You got like maybe 10 kills, which is a positive because at least you went double digits. But you died like 29 times. So your kill-death ratio is all fucked. And you feel like you did better. So it's just enough happiness to like, alright, I'm still going to put the controller down before I jinx it. But at least I ended on a better night where it's not my average score, but it's pretty fucking close to at least being acceptable in my brain. And then as far as like the games themselves over the time being, they have it where they have updates. So we download the updates. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. Like one of the bugs that they haven't fixed over the last couple of updates for Black Ops, and I don't understand really why it happens, is sometimes when you're playing the game, I have to do it where sometimes I shuffle through a few pages before it shows that I'm highlighting anything. Like, you can hover over your own name, the other teammates, or whatever, the people, the roster. You can check on the thing where you can select on if you want to use the EXP for yourself, your guns, battle pass, or you can even check on like your friends list if anybody's online, or even like recent players if you want to try to send a message or mess with or join a game to somebody you enjoyed playing or fucking hated. And then you get back to the lobby screen, and lately, the last, I don't even know how many updates, they still haven't fixed it, and I'm not quite sure why. Hopefully they fix it in Modern Warfare 4, but lately, it's not a huge deal, but me personally, I do like voting on what map to play, because sometimes you'll get a good map, so you want to play it twice. What's annoying is when the algorithm throws in the same map like 3 matches in a row, and instead of, okay, I've already played it twice, let's do something different. No, let's pick it again. That's why I like the fact that there's a classified option, the random button. But lately it hasn't even been allowing me to vote. And it's not just me, because I've heard a few people bitch on the game chat lately about them not being able to vote either. So I'm not sure what the issue is, but hopefully they fix it soon. And it's not necessarily a bug issue. The only other issue I have with at least the last couple of games is it's still cool to see like the kill cam and everything. But if you're going to do a best play of the game, at least pick something that's worthy. Because there's been how many times, whether it be me or somebody else on the team, that gets, like, they somehow manage to get to the spawn and get the rapid kill of all 6 people, or they're running through the map later during the timer and they get, like, bloodthirsty or a frenzy kill or something like that within seconds, or they're going ham where they get like a bloodthirsty, then they launch off a score streak and kill some more people, where, or like a cool trick shot, or like you dove off of something and shot them last minute, like the cool things. But they treat that like it used to be, which I honestly kind of wish they'd bring back the final kill cam. The final kill cam shows, doesn't matter how stupid, the final kill on the winning team, who got it, who died, and what happened leading up to that moment. Not this, let's just pick a random play, and even if you just went and got a frenzy kill within 10 seconds, you got a calling card to prove it if it's your first time doing it. And they give it to some guy that gets 1 kill, pause, 2, 3, 4, pause, 5. It's like, we waited all this time. Sure, he got like 5+ kills, but the time between those shots, except for like the 2 or whatever that were back to back, those don't even count in one set anymore. That'd be like a single kill, a double kill, maybe a third kill. And if you did get 5, they'll still give you the bloodthirsty because you got 5 kills without dying. But I've even seen it where they give it to somebody who got a double kill, and it wasn't even a normal double kill. To me, a double kill is you shoot 2 enemies either right next to each other or within like a 10 to 15 second window. So it's like, doof, doof. That makes sense. But the ones that they show, regardless of slow motion, they'll have it where they'll shoot one guy and it could be like 30 seconds go by and the kill cam feed is almost completely done. And then they finally shoot the other guy. sometimes it's even a single kill. It's like, do they need to recalibrate it? How did that deserve best kill of the game when there's so many better shots? Especially when you go and look at the scoreboards, whether it be during, after, whatever, and you'll see whether it be your team or their team, how you'll have somebody on there they have anywhere from like the 20s to 30s or higher. Like the one match I saw, the fucker had 42 and 9. I guarantee he had some badass plays. They gave it to some guy who got a very spaced out triple kill. It was like one guy shot him, ran halfway across the map, and then found two guys running together. Doof, doof. Can we at least give the attention to the players that deserve it? Or go back to the final kill cam so it makes a little bit more sense? But that's just me. If you feel differently, that's up to you. But I prefer a little bit of the older setup because it made you feel like you achieved something. Like when you get the final kill cam, you feel like you achieved something regardless of how bad it is, because it's very rare for most people that aren't that great or just don't be a try-hard where you get picked for the final kill. I mean, it's still up in the air if you're going to get picked now, but you could do the dumbest of shit or the best trick shot, whatever you want to call it, ever, and you have a 50-50 chance of being on there. But in reality, since there's like, 11 other people on there usually, I'd say it's more like a 15 to 85 chance. At least with the original setup, you would have it where if you know for a fact that you shot the last person, game's over. You can rest easy knowing that you achieved the final kill cam, so people have to watch what happened. And I felt the first time I got it, I was so proud, even though it was also the dumbest shit ever, because I think back then I was really big on panic knifing. So I got this one kill cam. I think it was the first one I ever got. It was on one of the Modern Warfare 3 maps where it looks like a old deserted kind of like castle area. There's a big well. You can shoot the chickens on or inside the cage. There's like a little fruit market off to the back, and there's like a little walk path that connects one little section of a building to another. That's got a little bridge that connects to another, and then there's like a little stairway that's where they drive underneath with the cars and shit. I was really big on panic knifing. So my kill cam for the first time was me trying to shoot somebody, missing horribly, getting hit marker like a motherfucker, because remember we're on core, almost dead, and I run down the stairs. I basically run right face first into the enemy. I got so fucking scared. My microphone was on too. And I yelped like a little dog. I go, ah! And fucking 360 panic knifed the shit out of there just to see if it would work. And it did. And then the guy was yelling at me the entire time like, oh, that's such bullshit. You got me with a fucking panic knife, you pussy. It's like, hey, a kill's a kill. But I'm also looking to try to get these episodes on like Spotify and whatnot, so that way you can listen to it on the go if you can't get the time to sit down and watch it. So I will be working on trying to do that at some point, hopefully soon. And I'd also like to give a shout out to Michael Slattery for giving me and my channel some love. Back at you, bro. I'd also like to thank my friends and family for like when I've gotten stuck on ideas, or at least helping with trying to figure out how to set things up to try to make each episode possibly a little bit better until we can work towards something even more spectacular. They've helped me so much throughout it, and I don't know how I'd get this far without them. But yeah, all in all, I think video games are a fun way to pass time or just let out some anger from the day, whether it be your job, morons on the road that don't know how to use their fucking turn signal, or whatever have it. Video games aren't for everyone, but for me, they're a great way to escape, especially when you get the headset on. You got nothing to bother you. You just get a cold drink, maybe a snack, turn the fan on or the AC or whatever you got, pick a game and go. Just like I mentioned earlier in this video, I would like to see how well I do once I get that game on Steam, the Mecha Chameleon, because I'm not extremely artsy, but I do have an iPad with a pencil, so I can try a little bit better than just my finger. And I can't wait to see if it's just as fun as you see on all the completion videos where people are laughing their asses off on either how bad the fucking hiding spot is or how good the hiding spot is, and them getting mad because they can't figure it out. Like, there was this one I watched the other day. The hunter was talking with some of the people hiding. They were sort of giving him hints towards the end there to try to get him to find them. I think he only made it like half of the time frame, and he goes, "Well, I can't find you. I give up." Within a few seconds, they were gonna start like giving him like literal hints, and right before they were about to say something, they go, "Oh, he fucking left." The guy quit because he couldn't find anybody. So, who knows? Maybe one of those days I could be that. But yeah, as always, thanks for tuning in. And if you liked the video, please leave a like, a comment on any awesome stories of achievements you've got on games, game recommendations, or epic fails, or just funny pranks you pulled on some of your friends or teammates throughout the times of you guys playing. And also, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate every one of you, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.